Star Wars The Last Jedi is here, folks. Sorry we've been gone for a while. This is a new format we're going to try to do every once in a while. This is Crazy Poultry Inc. presents Movie Ticket Review. Woohoo! Of course, I'm back as always, Gaio Loco Ian Novak, and with me as usual, my partner in crime,
Knicker's Chicken.
So guys, I hope you've been having a great holiday. I know we've been having a pretty good one because now holidays are pretty much Star Wars time. Last, 3 or so years, Star Wars now comes out around Christmas, so that's what I now associate with Christmas. So we have just seen The Last Jedi now twice, so we've gotten pretty good ideas of what we feel about it. Of course, if you're probably looking around, there's tons of reviews going around because this is Star Wars. Let's be frank, it's going to be out there for a while. This is going to be a little hard to go into because we're going to try to avoid spoilers and a lot of talks that if you talk about the plot of what's going on, it kind of gets into spoilers, so that's going to make this difficult. But just to kind of do a brief rundown of what, because we've grown up with Star Wars. It's giant for us, but we're going to do just a quick run through of our grades of every Star Wars film, just to let you guys know that this is how we have felt going through. Maybe we'll go into more detail some other time about what we think about the whole Star Wars as a whole, because we did that for the MCU, which was a pretty good time. But right now we're just going to go just grades now, how we have felt about Star Wars. So starting with Episode 1, Phantom Menace.
Oh, we're not going in the order we had them in?
No, we're not. If you want to go to a little bit later, I just figured about doing grades right now. Episode 1, I give that a D+. Nick?
Oh, God. The only reason I'm giving it this is because of Darth Maul. I'm going to have to agree D+. I would have said D or D-, but Darth Maul is great, so...
Yeah. And then there's Episode 2, Clack the Clones. I'm giving this a D.
I'm going D-.
Yeah.
I almost gave it an F.
Then we have Revenge of the Sith, Episode 3. I actually enjoy this one. I'm going to give it a B+.
I'm going to go C.
Okay.
I didn't,
And then we have the in-between Rogue One from Star Wars story. I give that a B.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the B as well.
And then we now move on to the what was known as the trilogy, which is Star Wars: A New Hope. I'm sorry, that's the full name. Get over it. I now give this an A-.
A.
Then we have the epic of Empire Strikes Back. I give that an A+.
A+.
Then what we thought was the closing of the story, which was Return of the Jedi, which I give a B+.
A-.
But now we have these new stories of Star Wars. If you want to look at it, a new story. Some people say it's the same thing over and over again, but we have Star Wars Force Awakens that came out 2 years ago now. And I give that an A.
A-.
So, yeah, it's kind of hard to say, but it's pretty well known that Star Wars is always a giant anticipation because we've seen the giant highs and we've seen the lows. And with all that was going around with production and things, they cut their first director they had. They thought about having J.J. Abrams back, but they decided to then go with Rian Johnson, who's done a few films. He did Brick with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and he also did, with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis, Looper. He's done a few shorts here and there, but he still doesn't have a giant filmography. But because he's done science fiction stuff, I actually was really looking forward to see what he could bring. And I thought what he brought was pretty damn badass. I would say we should probably get into the stuff that we like without trying to divulge much into what it is. The second time around, I got more of a feeling of the stuff that goes on with Poe Dameron, Princess Leia, and all that stuff, ship stuff, felt a little bit like Mad Max because it was one long chase the entire time. We don't really get a sense of how long that's going on, whereas we get kind of more with Rey and Luke's stuff. We kind of get like maybe there's like a day or two that go on there. Which to me, the stuff with Rey, with either with Rey and Luke or Rey with Kylo was awesome. Easily my favorite, one of my favorite compelling things about this. And then the other giant thing is I want to say the action is probably some of the best action I've ever seen in Star Wars. The way it's shot, the way it's choreographed. I've heard some people say it felt like samurai movies, which was pretty damn awesome. Would you like to chime in with anything that stood out to you?
It's hard for me not to say anything, but I guess I'll go around the obvious subjects of the people that have seen it and not seen it. But I'm trying to think. The three best. It's hard to say that too, but obviously Kylo going into it was my favorite, and he still is. Mark Hamill was surprised the hell out of me. I knew he was going to be good, but holy crap,
This is my favorite Luke performance.
Oh my god! And then another obvious one for me was Carrie Fisher, and every time she was on the screen, I'm not going to lie to you, I probably shed a tear. Just because we lost a really good person, and this is the last movie she's going to actually be in. What they're going to do, or if they're no spoilers, but those three were my favorites. What else do I have? Let's see. The action was unbelievable. Mm-hmm. The locations, every single one of them, puts you in an awe mood. You're just sitting there, and you're like, wow, I just wish I could have been there. And sometimes you felt like you were there. What they did with Snoke's lair, that was freaking badass.
That set was really
dude, amazing. I was sitting there like, they should do that for a music video. But
who knows, maybe Galactic Empire did.
Holy crap. I don't know, Rey was good. Poe was good. You could keep going.
They do something I thought very interesting with Poe's character too, with the story. It starts to go one way, like how you would feel like how this story always goes, like, I'm right, everybody else is wrong, and then they do this nice little twist thing at the end, which again I'm not going to say, but I thought that was pretty ballsy considering they did something a little bit different.
And he had like a hate me, love me relationship with a lot of the people, and I'm not going to go into that because you'll find out what I'm talking about, but let's just say he had to keep under control, which he wants to blow everything up, obviously. Yeah. But that was pretty cool. Laura Dern was a nice introduction. Purple hair and all. Mm-hmm. Again, I still haven't seen Tom Hardy or Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's really no spoilers because they're all over the internet. I'm sure I'll find them. Ian mentioned something to me yesterday. I'm not going to say what he did, but he had heard something that happened towards the end, and if you noticed it, I still didn't see it the first two times, which hopefully the third time I'll notice it.
Are you actually going to go to the theater for a third time?
Yes, my mom wants to see it, so okay. I'll be seeing it with her. The two biggest battles were both unbelievable. The one like in the middle and the one at the end were both great. Andy Serkis. Do I really need to say anything about that guy? I'm trying to spoil anything. It's hard not to.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody that I have.
Oh wait, sorry, I haven't said. Domhnall Gleeson was freaking awesome as General Hux. I loved him. He's been good in about everything he's in. He was in that. Is it American Made?
Yes.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He was really good in that, and I think he's going to.
Ex Machina.
Yeah.
With Oscar Isaac.
There you go. A lot of connections, but he was great. He had a lot of emotion. He had a lot of emotion in the first one. I think he had a lot more in this one, and he had some comedy too, which was really funny.
Well, yeah, a Star Wars film without comedy. That's never going to happen. Probably the lightest comedy was in Empire.
Yeah, I thought. I really think the new guy that's playing Chewie is doing a really good job. It's hard to replace somebody like Peter Mayhew, but he's just as big and just as lovable.
And as long as he's kept on as a consultant, that's always nice.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, and another big thing, porgs.
Yeah.
They are not annoying.
All right. Ryan Johnson did a great job with those. He incorporated
this
them
is
perfectly.
This is not the new Jar Jar Binks.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and they are everywhere, but not. It's not like a really annoying everywhere, if you know what I mean. And there's a really funny and cute part.
Really? Part?
Man, especially the one part that got me. I was like, oh my god.
Because they set up that these porgs live on the island that Rey and Luke are, and you hear them, but they're not always in view
throughout,
which is nice. So it gives you a sense that these things live here, but that's it.
Well, like I said, it feels like companionship, and Star Wars is all about family, and they.
Well, there's definitely one family that is throughout the galaxy.
Yes, I think the porgs kind of stood for family in a way, and because there's one scene where it showed little porgs too, and the mom. Mm-hmm. But I think they're incorporated perfectly. And then the crystal critters, they were in a little bit of it, but they weren't, they didn't bother me either. And Jar Jar, nothing's gonna be like Jar Jar.
Mm-hmm. But I would really say that this film really deals with the connection and confliction with Rey and Kylo, and what is right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. It really it almost reminded me of like X-Men First Class with Magneto in a way, mostly because there's the same kind of gesture and stuff. I did, however, notice the first time that we saw it that if you watch the trailer, they definitely do not have those two scenes together. They are definitely different aspects, but they do come back to that. And like I mentioned, this is my favorite Luke Skywalker performance.
I have to agree with you.
And someone pointed out that if you notice, if you remember how, again, don't want to divulge into spoilers, but if you remember how Yoda was in Empire Strikes Back, what Luke has gone through, it makes sense how he is almost like Yoda in this. Now let's kind of go into the middle ground stuff, like what we've heard more. This has gone around on YouTube. We've heard it from a few people. We're not going to mention who they are, just to be fair to them. Some people are probably going to have problems with the way that the Force is used in this. I did not have a giant problem with that, because guess what? It's something different. I'm seeing what the Force is able to do. And this is not a spoiler, but I love how Rey asks Luke, "What's the Force?" I wanted to burst out of the theater and say, "Not midichlorians." He doesn't.
That's
Thank
why
you.
I 100% absolutely love this movie. It's different, and some directors would have just been like, "Oh, let's just go with the flow." But Ryan Johnson, I think, implemented a lot of different stuff and just kept you on edge, man. Luke and everybody, all the emotions were at the perfect time, man. Literally the whole movie, my mouth was wide open both times. Just everything about it, man.
And just as a small thing, not going into detail what they are, both Luke and Leia do something with the Force that I've never seen before. I could easily see how some people might have a problem with the first one because of what's going on in the scene. But again, I'm just seeing the way that the Force is being used, and it's pretty damn awesome.
Well, he obviously wants you on the edge of your seat,
yes.
And it happens constantly, so he accomplished that.
Okay, so...
God, it's really hard for me not to say anything.
I'm getting the feeling that it's going to be a little bit harder for you, but let's try to get into some stuff possibly that we didn't like in this. To me, I know it's been said by a few people that we follow. It's definitely been said on YouTube by other reviewers, but I kind of agree. This is a 2.5 hour long movie. Easily 30 some of the minutes, maybe even 15 of this could have been shortened down. The Finn and Rose segment. I really don't know if that really was needed as much as we got. I do see the impact that it makes at the end, again, without spoiling anything, but we spend so much time there. And Benicio del Toro, who is in this film, who I do like as an actor, even though he's involved with this, it just goes on for too long for me. And it cuts the tension where I wanted to see what was going on with something else. That is the giant drawback. I still enjoy Finn as a character, but there's stuff with him, and now there's possibly something else going to be involved with. Again, this is hard. With him, Rose, and Ray, which is something I'm going to...
Love triangle!
Yeah. Which I don't think is really much of a triangle. And I don't know if I really want to see this now brought up in the Star Wars universe. So that's my only gripe with it. I think that could have been shortened down and not made as long. Is there possibly anything that you would
Not
like
really.
to...
I might have to agree that the Rose and Finn thing was a little drawn out, but they actually were involved with one of the biggest parts of the movie, so I can't really say that. That probably made it up for me. I don't know what they're going to do with it in the future, but I actually really like the girl that plays Rose. I think she's a great actor. And actually, she's up and coming, and she's been in some shows I've watched. So, and then, God, I don't really know much bad to say about it, dude. Our friend Garen.
Okay, you're gonna mention.
Oh yeah,
names.
I'm gonna throw him right on the bus because he really disappointed me last night. We're talking about a guy that likes, Warcraft, okay, and that likes really bad movies.
And if you like Warcraft, that's fine.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm totally fine with that. But he obviously had one serious issue with the movie, and I'm not going to go into it because that'll probably, but it involves Snoke. That's all I'm going to say. I think he delved into it too much because him and a couple other people have read whatever into the future, read graphic novels or whatever and whatnot, and something didn't go the way he thought it was going to, or something thought he wanted it to go the way it was supposed to go, and to not have any curveballs, and it not to be any different. And this was definitely a different movie, and it was a little darker in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I just don't know. He's entitled to his opinion, but I just was confused by the way he was acting because everybody else absolutely loved it. Kyle, Josh, and Damon all said they were flabbergasted.
The only thing with Snoke that I'm going to comment on is I can easily forgive it more if we get a bit more of something about him going on with the next movie.
Yeah, maybe like I said, maybe they'll say something. I guarantee you they're might go into his backstory a little more in the third one.
I did hear not as much of a theory because something got released about what people's backstories were, and he's one of them. And if this is definitely what the route they're going to go, which I'm not going to divulge into.
I think, like I said, I can't go too far. I will go into it in another review where we actually can talk about it. But I think they have a plan for Snoke and how they're going to bring, more understanding of him. I think there's a plan. I will go into that when we're able to talk about it.
But if they do go that route, I totally see that it works, and it's definitely interesting, and it also involves, all the past people that we know about.
Why? Okay. DC needs to learn a lot of things. Okay, I'm just gonna put it into this. Okay. The way they made Snoke look and react and all that kind of stuff, he looked unbelievable. Okay. Mm-hmm. The way he moved, talked, emotions, and everything. The DC movie, their bad guy, looked like a 2-year-old had made it. Steppenwolf looked like a 2-year-old had done the character. Okay. I just don't understand. DC's never going to learn, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I had to bring that up because Snoke looked badass and everything about him was badass, and then Steppenwolf looked like a complete fool. There's my 2 cents.
So, yeah, that was Nick's small DC rant. So, this is extremely this to me anyway is a little tough because there's giant portions of this film that I really enjoyed and I really just could not believe what I was seeing.
And there was a couple of ovations, especially one huge one.
Oh yeah.
And it shocked me, but I'll go into that more with me.
Well, we didn't get that the first night.
No.
But then we got it the next night, which
God.
was kind of surprising. But like I mentioned, the Finn and Rose thing to me just dragged too much. But I still was very, very overwhelmed with everything else, and I was just surprised by almost everything else.
Same here.
So I'm going to say that this is most likely going to be in my top 10 of this year. But just be prepared, people. You might be surprised at actually where it is. But I'm going to give Star Wars The Last Jedi an A.
I'm going to have to agree with you. A.
Okay. So this has been our whole segment, trying not to spoil anything for Last Jedi. So now I'm just going to go into another quick little thing because while Mr. Nick here was, off working or doing whatever, I was also at the theater and I saw 2 movies that I really wanted to go check out, which were 3 billboards outside of, if I'm saying this right,
Abilene,
Missouri, and Wonder. Both are very good movies. If they're playing in your theater, go see them. Both of them have a good chance to be on my top 10. And Wonder is probably going to be really close to my top 10. So now, this is the portion of the show that we're actually going to be diving into. Yay, it's coming back. Bullet picks in WWE. We actually have Clash of Champions coming up this Sunday, tomorrow.
Which is a classic pay-per-view, in case anybody didn't know.
I guess to kind of bring you guys up speed, we were kind of just tied and doing just basically the exact same with pay-per-views that have gone. This, of course, has several title matches, but it's also not incredibly many matches. I'd say almost the big question actually is, will this be a 3-hour long thing? I say with these matches, there's no reason for it to be 3 hours long.
I don't know if the Clash of Champions was ever actually 3 hours in the heyday.
Well, that's the heyday, not now. So first, we have up in the pre-show the only rivalry of any of these matches that has been trying to build, but it started really 9 months ago. And that's the breakup of the Hype Bros between now Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley. Weren't you or anybody else just devastated when this team broke up? I know I felt it.
I honestly didn't even know. So.
Because clearly the only thing they had mentioned why Mojo turned on Zack Ryder, if you saw this, is because when they won the tag team when they won something to go for the tag titles, Zack Ryder got injured. Mojo went on to win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. He was getting a big push to try to go up for the WWE title. And then Zack came back from injury, and they decided to form the Hype Bros again. And they have become jobbers, basically. And they've said that Mojo had enough of this. But this breakup just happened too late. And they just really dragged it on.
Like I said, I didn't even know they broke up, so.
I have actually been hearing rumors that Zack Ryder actually might be kind of going now back to NXT. In fact, there's actually a number of superstars that I heard that might be going down.
Should go to NXT.
And And there's been talks that Triple H has been saying that don't take this as a demotion, just take it as a chance in a different environment. I'm not sure every superstar is going to feel that way, but to be fair, NXT has been a better show. So, who are you going with, Zack Ryder or Mojo Rawley?
Anything I can flip?
Not really.
I did this amazing Star Wars stuff.
He's tossing a paper, which
Mojo.
didn't really flip.
Mojo.
I'm gonna go with Mojo too.
I don't know why. He's bigger.
He's bigger.
That's all he used to play football. There you go.
And, he's clearly shown that he does more stuff in the ring, apparently, than Zack Ryder.
And he's friends with the loser and Rob Gronkowski, so.
Yeah. Next, I'm not exactly sure if this has been established as the pre-show or the beginning of the show.
It's probably pre.
But we now have, finally, Breezango versus the newly packaged Bludgeon Brothers. I actually am kind of looking forward to this. I actually like the Bludgeon Brothers. They're pretty intimidating and awesome, and I like their new song. And, of course, now WWE has made the brilliant decision to move the fashion files to WWE.com. Not going to be on the show anymore, which makes you turn your head going, why would you do this? And then you're like, oh, wait, no, this is another stupid decision that they've been making this past few years. I think this has a chance to actually be an actual competitive match, and I like both of these teams, actually, but I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers.
I don't know. It's probably going to be on the pre-show and just be another throwaway.
So what are you saying? One of them's going to squash the other?
Probably. I think they're pushing the Bludgeon Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
Because they just, usually teams that just start, they push, so it's going to be obvious. And, Breezango's been getting kind of beat up on.
But they're still entertaining.
Yeah, well, they're not. I don't know. I don't think they're in competition to the Bludgeon Brothers, so. And we'll see. Maybe they'll keep pushing. Hopefully it's not another just 5-match and then phase out team. Bludgeon Brothers. I don't know. Just because they need to be pushed.
Okay. Now we got the now formed triple threat for the U.S. title. Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler, who just got thrown in there via social media. The only thing for sure I know in this match is that Dolph's going to get the pin. He's going to be pinned. The thing that I was struggling with was who was going to actually win the title or keep it. And I'm going to make the brave choice and say that the U.S. title is going to become glorious. What do you think?
Well, I love Bobby Roode, so. And of course, the fact that I love him is because the fact that I think WWE is going to screw him again. And, because they screw a lot of the people I like. They're like, oh, yeah, Nick likes him, so we're just going to throw him under the bus. But in this case, I think the clashing of the champions is going to be glorious. And Bobby Roode is going to have a long title run. I didn't think it was going to be the U.S. title, but evidently maybe they'll strap that around his waist. And actually do something good. And maybe you'll have a year-long run the U.S. title. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Now we have the very interesting, what could possibly actually be the match of the night, Fatal Tag 4-Way for the tag titles.
Is it tornado rules?
I don't think so.
Okay, then. What?
We have the Usos defending their title up against the New Day, American Belta, I believe that's what they're going as, Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, and what everybody is now dubbing the name of this team, Rusev Day. Rusev and Aiden English, who've actually gotten pretty big wins over the last few weeks.
Oh, Lord.
I actually think this probably will be the match of the night. All these teams are really competitive and very well skilled. I just think that I could see just two of these teams winning, and I don't think that they're going to do American belt yet, so I'm going to go with the Usos to retain.
I think Vince McMahon's going to be Vince McMahon and not make any titles change hands other than maybe the U.S. title. Because, he doesn't like conflict. He likes everything to just run straight through. Kind of like the NFL with the Patriots. But
at least he's letting Woken Matt have his own.
Woken! Yes! Yeah. Okay. Sorry. God. I wish this was Tornado Tag. It would be so much more entertaining. And, back in the heyday, back in the Attitude days, all the freaking tag matches like that were Tornado. But, conflict aside, I'm going to go with the Usos because, Vince McMahon's not going to let them change hands. I'd like to see some other team win them, but it's probably not going to happen.
Okay. Now we have the SmackDown Live Women's Title match.
Yeah, baby.
That is also a Lumberjack or Jill.
My girl.
Whichever you want to go with. Charlotte versus Natalya. Yeah. Charlotte defending her title. I'm going to go with Charlotte to keep the title. The only question then I'll have is, will Carmella cash it in? But I think because of the Lumberjacks or Jills, whatever you want to say, will prevent her from doing it. So
I'm going to say this. Ric Flair has had a history at Clash of the Champions, and I'm hoping Natalya doesn't, and Charlotte follows her father's footsteps and has a huge... I'm trying to think. I can't exactly go back into all the Clash of the Champions because that's way too much, but I think Ric Flair's record is pretty good with them, so I'm going to say Charlotte's going to win, just to keep the family name intact. Otherwise, why would it? Flair doesn't really need any other introduction. And anyway...
Mm-hmm. And there's been talks about that this should be the main event, but because of the way they've booked it now, this isn't the main event.
And this is going to be maybe close to a setup of what's going to be at WrestleMania, which I'm not going to go into, but something could happen at WrestleMania. And somebody could get involved, hopefully.
And that's AJ Styles defending the WWE title up against Jinder Mahal. I really hope that they have realized that the Jinder experiment did not work.
It flopped like I said it would. If you go back to one of our old reviews, I said that would happen.
Yeah. Here on the YouTube channel, not here.
Yeah, anywhere.
It's just now a question of which plan are they going to go with from what I've heard, which is going to be either Jinder Mahal facing Brock Lesnar, who then will face John Cena, or AJ Styles, who could possibly face rumored Shinsuke Nakamura. I really hope that they have realized this did not work the first time. Triple H even beat Jinder Mahal in India.
And he was dancing with him.
Yeah. And I hope that they just realize that the AJ and possible Shinsuke Nakamura is just a way more an entertaining match. So I'm going to go with AJ to keep the title.
I mean, do I really have to say who I think is going to win?
Shocker, AJ.
Said, you all know who my favorite wrestler is, so I will give Jinder Mahal one thing. He is helping a certain somebody return to NXT. And one of his good friends, you all know who's hurt right now. Do you know?
Not really.
Who their champion was?
Oh, Drew McIntyre.
Yes.
Yeah, I did see.
He's been helping Drew McIntyre train, which I do commend him for that, because Drew McIntyre is way more talented than he is. But I will give him that. But other than that, I don't see any appeal to him. I think AJ is going to be, strutting his, flaunting everything until WrestleMania. I think and hopefully Kenny Omega will come into the picture, and it'll be Kenny Omega versus AJ. That's my dream match.
Speaking of which, there's also the Jericho Kenny match, which, if at possible, I want to try to see it at some point.
Yeah, who the hell wouldn't?
And then we have what should be the main event because it's the only storyline that has been really shown throughout these past number of weeks, which is the best friends, KO and Sami Zayn, versus Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, with special guest referees Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. And if KO and Sami lose, they are fired. Who do you have and why? And if possible, can you predict how that outcome is going to happen?
Well, I'm just going to say my pick is right away. It's going to KO and Sammy because they're not going to fire them. And if they did, freaking retarded.
Just put more gasoline on the stupidity.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't see any appeal to making that a thing because I think everybody knows somebody's going to end up by disqualification. And I can't see Shane and Daniel Bryan working together at some point.
No, they've been building that tension.
They have, though, but that could be just a thing, and they could screw somebody over. But I don't know. It's not suspenseful enough for me, I guess is the word, because I think I know what's going to happen, and it's, oh my God, nobody's going to be shocked at the end of it, I think. So, KO and Sammy. They're going to, somebody's going to get hit in the crotch or somebody rolled up and then, pin them, whatever.
Okay. I am also going to go with KO and Sammy because, again, I don't think that they will fire these talents. The only thing I'm going to now mention what I think the finish might be is KO or Sammy, probably Sammy, will probably hit his Halula kick, try to pin either Shinsuke or Randy, whichever, and Shane will be like this, 1, 2, and then he won't do the 3. Daniel Bryan is going to step in and toss him out because they're going to build that feud, and then KO or Sammy or something, probably KO will hit his pop-up powerbomb to either Shinsuke or Nakamura, 1, 2, 3 from Daniel, and that's going to be the closer that Daniel is now siding with them because he doesn't believe that they should be fired.
I can also see that might happen. I could also see, though, based on his past, Randy Orton, RKO, and Shinsuke for some reason, just based on what Randy Orton's done in the past, RKO out of nowhere,
So you're saying he's going to turn on
he could.
Shinsuke?
That could be another possibility. You never know.
Well,
He could be jealous of Shinsuke's success lately. So
they've also been mentioning how the whole roster hates Sammy and KO, though, which is why that they're doing this. But the biggest thing that Orton has been doing is the fact that he gets on KO on social media that, oh yeah, because I'm a babyface, I have to watch what I eat. Because that is kind of a tradition. So, again, another exciting, just right down the middle.
It's too straight through for me.
We're just equal on everything.
Well, I don't know. I don't think it's a very good lineup for Clash of the Champions, in my opinion. Clash of the Champions is a huge a huge pay-per-view. And I think I don't know. Let's just say I'm ready for a lot of people to be dropped down to NXT. I'm ready for a lot of NXT to be put up to WWE.
Again, I do like that, but if they do drop people, that's the only way I'll be happy because then they'll probably just be lost in the shuffle and used wrong. The only 2 matches I could really see going differently, in my opinion, are the Baron Corbin keeping the title and possibly New Day or American Belta taking the titles. That's the only surprises I see possible. So, yeah, guys. Hope you enjoy this new format that we're going to try out for a few times. Leave a comment down below. Give us a thumbs up if you would like. We appreciate that. Hopefully we actually just recently passed 5,000 views, which we're very thankful for.
Holy bejesus, 5K. Woo!
You want to follow us on social media, I'm at GaioLoco89 altogether. If you want.
I think mine's a little more complicated. It's hard for me to remember all of mine, but I'm only going to go through a couple. Nick Wood on Facebook. I think it's Nickerish_chicken87 at on Instagram. Nickerish Chicken on Twitter. I think you just type in Nick Wood on Snapchat. And of course, Pokemon doesn't even, you can't follow me on that. So regardless, I don't know, just keep watching wrestling and keep going to the movies.
And, guys, if later down the road, possibly next year most likely, if you want us to do a bit more football talk too, because there's only been one thing we've really been able to focus on in football, which is the Colts suck. And the only proud thing going on for me in sports right now is my fantasy team, who's currently in the playoffs, along with you.
Why not?
So, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. This has been the movie ticket review / bullet picks.
We will have, during the other Star Wars review, when we actually talk about it, our current order of how we liked Star Wars. And I think it's going to be interesting because we probably have a couple of differences, I would assume. Maybe not.
I'm going to say so.
Okay, well, we probably have a couple of differences, which is going to be interesting to find that out because a lot of people are the same and some people are different, so...
Well, then there's the weird ones.
Yeah, well, Garen.
Have the prequels!
Garen's favorite was Phantom Menace, so...
Okay. Yeah, weird note to go on. So, yeah, guys. It's been Crazy Poultry Inc. presenting movie ticket review / bullet picks. Host Ian Novak.
And Nickerish Chicken.
See you guys next time.